Hi everyone, and welcome to another I'm trying to think of a clever thing to do with what we're doing, but anyway, exciting episode of Trip Around Multiverse with your host, the man who looks good in someone else's costume, Charles, and
the man who's finally wore a comics accurate costume after 24 years.
Yeah.
Wai Chung.
And today, this is quite interesting because I realised this has something to do with the name of our podcast. Yes, we are reviewing the long-awaited trilogy ender of the Merc of the Mouth, Deadpool, featuring everyone's favourite X-Man, Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes, this film.
So non-spoilers.
No spoilers. Yep.
Right. Here's the thing, right? Yeah. Now, because we've watched everything that is involved in this, it makes sense.
Yes.
And I wonder. I'm gonna watch it a second time.
Same one, watch it a second time. I was trying to do it today.
Just to go in there and pretend that I don't know anything and see if it makes sense. Because I think it kind of does. You get enough sprinkles of this, that, and the other, but the core story.
Yeah,
that runs through it is what you get attached to.
Yes,
and that makes sense because that's straightforward.
Yes, if I say, is it? Yeah, no, it's super makes sense. Like, it's a film.
Well, even as a comedy though, it don't need to make sense.
Yeah, as a comedy, it doesn't need to make sense, and it's also. You don't need to look too deep into it because I saw some people looking too deep into it. Like it's not that.
It is essentially non-spoilers, but like Thor Ragnarok, where you got the situation,
and
the guys are out of the situation trying to get back in the situation, and the story takes place elsewhere for their journey while their journey is happening for that.
Which makes yes. Now you put it that way, literally.
That's it, really.
Yeah, think about that. Yeah, no, that is it. Yeah, and I like without spoilers as well. When we get to spoilers, I'll say it. For me, it kind of it went to after watching it. I was like, oh, okay, and I saw someone put something about it. I was like, oh, it's like a good close to a certain phase of life or movie, you know what I mean? And I so it kind of made me like, oh, and I got a bit sad. I was like, oh, because I enjoyed like 8% of those films, what they kind of gave closure to. So, that's
they celebrate it and mock it at the same time.
which is kind of a cool thing because like.
Look, the film doesn't take itself seriously like that either, so it's not out of place. It's not like they do it with Venom, you know. Not the movie, that the actual
disdain to
malice,
what happened before, which was good.
I feel like there's some characters that didn't make an appearance that I would have thought would have made an appearance, and then there's some characters that did make an appearance, but they weren't the same characters, the actors that played those parts before.
Yes, some reason, one of them I got that kind of makes sense, but
I think there was a couple. There's a couple in a skirmish somewhere. Where I'll point out, and I don't know if you know, and it's one of those things where if you didn't know, you'd be like,
you're like,
If I recognized what the person was wearing, and I was like, huh, is this But there's so many. There's
so many.
I think it's good. It's good. It's violent.
Oh yeah.
It's lots of swearing, and it's funny, and it's bloody, and it's over the top, but in a glorious way. So it's not.
It's like a good.
Not get offended.
Is it a good crescendo? I would say. After
and it's
8 years for a sequel. 6 years. 6 years.
And I think in the theme of how the Deadpool films go, this works within it as well. It's not like all of a sudden it's outlandish for no reason, you know.
It kind of
even though the first Deadpool was more concentrated in between him and Vanessa, then the second one was him and Cable. And now this one is him and Wolverine. So
him, Wolverine, plus kind of a few other people here and there.
Yeah. Or maybe hundreds of other people, like, you know. But and I wouldn't say some of the main core cast from the first movie got sidelined, but they kind of have no place in the story that is being told.
Yeah. So
they have their place to set it in motion, but they can't help or not help or have relevance.
Yeah. And I kind of like that because they didn't feel like they was forced into it.
Yeah.
But they're still there, or like some other films, like for example, like Ant-Man and Wasp. I mean, not Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumanian. Is that what is it? That's what it's called, right?
Quantumania.
Yeah. Like none of the old people from the other one that's in this at all, except for his daughter, and she's played by a different person. So like side, like his side character friends are not mentioned or whatever. Like, and it never happened. So I kind of like that in this. That didn't happen.
Yeah. But then we had tons of other people.
Yeah.
But there for reasons.
Yeah.
That made sense.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think other things we talk about spoiling.
There's loads of fights, and that's where you're there for the laughs and the fights.
Yeah.
And I would say they hit most of the time. I don't think there was a joke that kind of missed in my cinema.
No, same.
And there's probably a bunch of people that probably didn't get some of the things that were going on.
Yeah, there's some of them. I noticed that I was watching it as well. There were some people that didn't get like the sort of mocking of the films or comic sort of thing jokes, and I was like, ha, I get that. And
and you're the only one laughing to yourself in the cinema.
Even some like cameos and stuff, I was like, oh, and a lot of people didn't get it. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not.
Yeah, I would say go to watch it. I'm gonna go and watch it a second time anyway. And I think you just said you would as well, right?
Yeah, because I missed like literally the beginning.
How much of the beginning? The credits.
When I walked in, this is not a spoiler, when he's talking to someone from a certain group, and he's no, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. And then he becomes Wig Deadpool. That's where I literally started, and then I missed a bit.
You missed a good sequence.
Yeah.
You missed the musical number at the beginning.
Yeah, so I started to see it again.
Okay. You definitely missed something that you should watch.
Yeah. So give me a reason to go and see it again.
Yeah. How did you miss that, by the way? Did you just come in late, or?
Yeah, I got in late because literally.
You held up.
Yeah, normally I finish work early, but then I got start doing something. I didn't get home to literally the time the film starts. So I literally had to come home, get changed, and then go. And then
by the way, the trailers before the film would have saved you.
Yeah.
Except I think there was only about 4 trailers.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll get there in time, it'll be fine. And I literally walked in.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Then I missed another bit in the middle because I had to take a phone call. So seriously.
Oh no way! You go watch it again. But
I didn't.
I mean, I tell you, we're gonna go through what happened anyway. So why tell you to begin? But what I tell you and what you visually see are different. So you were going to see it anyways because I can't describe the sequence in the detail. You know what I mean? It is just going to be a sentence, and then you know. And so I'm not going to spoil anything for you. And you get you see the bit in the middle of the film because it flashes back anyway, so you know what goes on.
Yeah. And besides, before we go and spoil it, I'd say the film looked very pretty. You could tell there's lots of money put into it.
Oh yes.
Everyone did a good job in their roles. I
think there was not an over reliance of CG.
No.
Even though I'm sure there were parts that were there must have been.
Like the obvious parts, but there's other bits where like they could have used CG, but didn't, and you could tell.
There was one sequence at the end, right, where there was a body replacement that was blatantly CG.
Ooh.
Oh, you probably didn't. Okay. It's just all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Someone lost detail.
When we get there, you got to explain. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. But it's right at the end. It's right. Not right at the end. It's close enough to the end. Okay. All right. Yeah. I would say, look, we're basically saying go and watch it, right? Actually, before we go into spoilers, right? Yeah. As far as in Marvel Studios film is concerned, how relevant do you think it is to the current saga that's going on?
I think it's a. I don't know. It depends. I would say it's kind of important, but then it depends where they go from here.
I think it's okay. I want to say it's one of those that you should watch it because it explains specifics, not about the like phase 4 or whatever it is, but it's the multiverse bits, you know, and certain sections of certain things, right? So you get an idea of what happens outside of the multiverse, kind of.
Yes.
How crossovers can happen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ish, you know.
And then there's something else that we'll at the end of this we'll speak of, because there's something happened over the weekend, and I think you probably know what I'm talking about, and it kind of plays into what we've done. Yeah. So
what films do you have to watch to get this? And I would say my friend next to me, he hadn't even seen any of the Deadpools.
Yeah.
And he got everything. He got everything. He understood what was going on.
Yeah.
And he understood certain bits that, even though you would think, okay, there's a deep history and blah, 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 you know, it didn't fly over his head, but he knew they were relevant.
Yeah.
He just didn't attach any relevancy to them.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I think you could go in.
Yeah.
Not watching. If you watch all the other if you watch bits and pieces of the MCU films and then didn't watch Deadpool, you still kind of get what's going on. Because he kind of steals you himself.
Yeah, it probably makes sense to watch Logan beforehand.
Yeah.
You probably don't need to watch Deadpool 1 or 2.
I think
even though it makes more sense to
Deadpool 2, but probably just the beginning and end, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and maybe some Deadpool 1, but you don't really need to do that either. You just need to explain what's going on. Logan's only relevant for Wolverine's backstory.
Yeah. Well, and kind of the not key plot, but a part of why this is all happening.
Yeah, I mean, you could watch Loki as well, but you know,
I'll probably say Loki.
If you had to trim it down to the bare basics,
I'd probably say Loki, maybe, because then it kind of gives you kind of understanding why this is all happening. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you need to necessarily.
Nah, but it'll help you a lot more.
Yeah.
And
the reason I say Logan is just because the beginning sequence that you didn't see it goes into that.
Okay.
You know, I'll spoil it for you, but yeah. Okay, and and now because look, you can't really. All you can say is this film is good to go watch it. Otherwise, you can't really go into depth much more than that.
No.
Look, your action's good. The costume, like you said, is a high budget and everything. It's colorful and whatnot, right? It's humorous.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of things that you need to
explain
to get people to be like, oh yeah, you should come watch it because of this, that, and the other. But then you just kind of
ruin it.
Yes.
It's a weird content thing. But guess we just get on to after this, people. But this spoiler territory now. We've talked like 30 minutes, so spoilers.
Okay. So, the beginning sequence. So you probably it's the Marvel Studios and the theme song, right?
Yeah. And
then Deadpool's all singing the theme song. Dun 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 dun. He's humming it, right? And then he's talking about how. So I need to rescue my universe, and Wolverine's the key to my universe. Yeah. And you know what? And then they show the end of Logan.
Yeah.
With the grave and the X.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna dig my boy up, right?
Yeah.
Because how can he be dead, right? Healing factors don't allow him to die. So, and then he's like, then he's digging and he hits some metal and he's like, yes.
Yeah.
Ding, ding. And then he's like, oh, effing I'm blinded because he's actually dead. And then next thing you see is Deadpool sitting next to Wolverine's adamantium skeleton and he's talking to it like...
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the TV come for him. And then...
I missed... So, wait. So you missed the bit when he goes... Where the whole midlife crisis stuff... well, not midlife crisis. Where... Where is it?
That's after. No, that's after. And then it flashes back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then then the TVA come from.
Yeah.
And then NSYNC comes on. Bye.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And then he's doing all the dance as well.
Yeah.
Right? While he's getting the Wolverine's bones and using them as nunchucks.
Okay.
And he's throwing them at the TVA and all the sharp ribs and all that stuff, right? Shurikens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as he's murdering them, and then he's got Wolverine's claws attached to his arms with rope or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's doing the Wolverine growl, and that's when it goes to he came in. Yeah.
Okay. Cause that's when I come in, and because I think I came at the end of the conversation with not Foggy. I'm about to say Foggy, even though he was Foggy at one point.
Peter. Yeah.
Happy.
He should have been Foggy as well.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I come in there and
he could have come in there and then not realize he was in the wrong universe.
Yeah, like, oh, sorry.
And then went back to the sacred timeline universe, and then went back to his own universe.
Because it's like Smith walked in and was like, oh, Foggy Nelson. Not again, Happy Hogan.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, you're not really Avenger material, but I wasn't at first. And one day, Bob, you can get it. And he's like, oh, okay. And then that's when he becomes like super depressed, right? And he gets like a new.
But the thing is like, how did he start in the 616 sacred timeline? Which, by the way, is still the wrong designation code.
Was that in the 616 timeline?
Yeah, it said 616 on it.
Oh, because then
he came in just after that bit started.
Oh, and then does he jump back to his timeline?
Yes, but that's the thing. They didn't show me. He steps. So Foggy Nelson says, "Oh, you need to be an Avenger, but the Avengers, they are there because of the situation. It's not a selfish thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing. They are needed. You need to be one, but they are needed by the world. So
yeah."
Logic don't work, pal. But what? Next time we'll give you a call.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he's back in his universe. And it's like, wait a minute.
In universe 100065, whatever.
Yeah. But it's just like they don't show him. I just assume that it's Cable's device is used to jump the timelines.
Yeah. That's why.
But then, why don't they show him with it? They didn't even when Foggy closed the door and you just hear the flash or the tick or whatever, just to show
Okay, that makes sense to me now. All
right. But even though they never knew because the universes weren't connected then, somehow they used the time travel.
Yeah.
At the end of the second film, and then they attached it to this, and the TVA come, and it's like, okay, well, it does make sense. Even at the time though, when they were making the second Deadpool, they didn't have that.
Yeah.
They didn't. I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
What I'm saying is it's a lucky coincidence for them. They were using Cable, who's a time traveler. So
yeah, it's kind of luckily fell into that, didn't they? They didn't even notice that. Yeah.
So Wade is putting his toupee on, stapling it to his head.
Yeah.
He's having his midlife crisis, as you say. He's talking to Peter, and Peter's got the Deadpool costume in his locker.
Yeah. And
he goes, "You just need something. You need to become you again." And he goes, "I know a guy who had a midlife crisis, and he got his nipples pierced, and he's got the chain going down the middle for Prince Albert." And I'm like, "All right, okay."
That'd be funny. It's then when it comes back later, you're like, "Oh, literally a couple of scenes later, you're like, oh."
Yeah, then Wade's trying to sell cars to the family, and he's like,
being
don't want to be here, sort of thing, swearing in front of the kids, but not really he's cussing the car out. He's just saying the car's rubbish and stuff like that, but he's using savory language.
Yeah, profanities all around.
Yeah, and then he doesn't get a commission for it.
Yeah.
Then he's talking to Peter, and it's like it's his birthday. It's Wade's birthday, and then he doesn't know what he's going to do with his life.
Yeah.
And then when he gets to his apartment, surprise, Colossus is there.
Colossus.
Yuko, Nega,
teenage
warhead,
whatever. Yeah.
Vanessa, Blind Owl,
his friend,
Shatterstar somehow is dead, even though he got murdered in the helicopter.
That's when I was
saying. They didn't explain how he come back.
I was sitting there, I was like, wait, am I missing? Because I know he saved Peter, or when he went back in time in number 2, Did he save all of X-Force then?
That's the thing as well. And what's contradictory, even though it's a comedy, right? Yeah. It don't need to make sense. Yeah. He's talking to fucking Nelson about how he had the team called the X-Force. Not fucking Nelson. Happy Hogan, how he had the team called X-Force, but they all died. Right?
I'm trying to think. Does Shatterstar have... I think he might have... Wait, how did Shatterstar die again?
His parachute landed on the helicopter blades.
Oh, then no. Because I'm pretty sure he has like a healing factor, but yeah, no, there's no way.
He got liquefied.
Yeah, there's no way you can
and that's that. Yeah. Speaking of not making sense, by the way, Logan takes place in 2029.
Yeah.
So how's he dead?
They could be in 2029 and...
But then in the second Deadpool, Logan was also dead.
But that's at the beginning of that was him breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, just saying it doesn't need to make sense though. It doesn't need
because if you look more into it, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. But that don't matter. Don't matter. Look, don't let your logic get in the way of a good story.
Yeah. Because I thought about it, like, you know what? I'm not going to think about it because I'm enjoying this film. I'm not going to think about it.
No. We'll just say he jumped at the beginning of the movie. He jumped a bit forward in time to get that Wolverine skeleton.
Yeah.
And then he came back to his normal time.
Yeah, something cool.
Yeah. But yes, and him and Vanessa are no longer together.
Which you find out later.
Because Wade's got a bit of a... Was he's having his depression, right?
Yeah.
And Vanessa's like... I don't want to see you like this sort of thing, but it's just like she kind of moved on because he was just being too self-pitying.
Yeah, and she's like, "That's not the man I love. I love this." Well, I think that bit comes later, but anyway, she's like, "Yeah.
And then
going nowhere, basically.
But it's not quite like that. It's just like the way that it seems to. The way that they portray it in the sequence that they're having is like they're kind of still friends.
Yeah.
Wade that was having his issues, and it caused issues in their relationship.
Yeah, that's what it kind of came out. Yeah,
and then later on, like you're saying, when they come back to the joke about Peter, and he lifts up his t-shirt.
Yeah, he's like, ooh. I was like, oh.
Then he tells them to pull on the chain.
Yeah, that bit I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, he goes, oh, because it's attached to
yeah. Prince,
yeah. And then they get a knock on the door, and there's like dudes in Half-Life costumes.
Yeah, and he's like, "Ooh, who are you guys?" And they're like, "Yeah, Wade Wilson, you need to come with us because of TVA."
Yeah,
TVA.
And then he's like, "Oh well, you know what? If you guys are male strippers, right?
Yeah,
you can take the costumes off and leave the helmets on or something like that."
Like that. And he said, especially you, big boy. Something weird like that. And he's like, oh, dude, you come with us. And then he's like, oh, you're ruining my party. Let's have a word outside.
This is talking about the... when they get their nightsticks and they extend it. He's like, I've been pegged before, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Oh.
And then they extend it with electric, and he's like, okay, you know what, boys?
That's a bit too far. That's what they like. That's what's too far? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Oh. And then... he goes to fight him, but then they knock him through the teleporter bit thing, and then he ends up at the TVA station, the TVA headquarters, and it's like, oh, okay. And then this is where Mr. Paradox appears, and basically tells him, we need your help because.
Well, you missed a bit.
What did I miss?
You missed the section where he's unconscious and he wakes up, right? And then Mr. Paradox says to him, "Yes, so you were brought here unconscious and you soiled yourself." And then Wade's like,
the whole time. He's like, oh, no. Like, dude, that's even worse if that's the case. So then, so then he basically explains to him like, we need. You've got a choice. You can go to the best timeline, and that's when
the secret timeline,
which is the MCU. But you need to help us do something because your timeline's dying because the anchor point. The anchor
Yeah,
point.
do they get him dressed in his Deadpool suit first, or is that just after this?
That's just after this.
Okay, go again. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, you're right. So no, he goes. Yeah, sorry, off track back a bit.
Yeah, they said, oh, we need you to help with us with a special mission or something like that, right? And then they get him in his Deadpool suit, even brighter red, by the way.
Yeah,
right?
which at the end it's not anymore. But
yeah, and adamantium blades.
Yeah, conveniently.
Yeah. Which makes sense because of what's going to happen. You know, you can't use normal blades for it
because it's pointless.
Yeah.
So then he gets roped by the tailor.
Yes, because I think Taylor is a sex offender. But yeah.
And then he points out to one guy.
There's lots of shots, by the way. There's lots of shots of his booty.
Yeah.
And then get smacked in the booty, right? Yeah. Stuff like that.
And then that's when Mr. Paradox explains to him like, you know, the sacred anchor point in your universe is Logan and he's dead. So your universe is slowly dying, and you can help us. Actually, no, you can help us. Like, you can join the MCU, and we'll just murder your one. He's like, wait, no, you can't, because, you know, I have friends there. He's like, you don't need friends. Get to the sacred one. You're the Marvel Jesus. And that's where he comes up with his Marvel Jesus. And anyway, he's like, no, I need my friends. They can't come with me. So I've got a plan. So he steals one of the TVA teleport things. Goes to Logan's grave.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is when, so that's a bit about, So then he tried to dig him
up. There's a whole bunch of nameless TVA agents, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Deadpool. You're like, that's fun.
Makes sense.
Even though these people have families, but whatever, right?
Whatever, you know. Well, not really, because they're all variants, ain't they? So they don't have families.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. Yeah. They can follow. But realistically, they're all actually stuntmen because they got masks, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so then he finds out Logan actually is dead, no body, like you said, and then he's like, if I go through different universes, I can get a Logan, bring him here, then he'll become the anchor point, and all is saved. So this is where we have all the this is where we see all the good cameos of different Wolverines, because he's jumping from the different dimensions, and then we see Short King Wolverine, where he's like some comic book accurate size Wolverine.
Well, that's what he says, right? That's what he says. But I think he's
shorter now.
Way smaller than comic book accurate Wolverine. Because even the height of the bar stool.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because Wolverine's 5'3". 5'3" isn't that short.
No. But the joke was because he's sitting on the bar stool and then he hops off it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, not even the height of the bar stool.
Yeah, he's like, Short King, comic accurate. Yeah, so then there's that one. There's the Age of Apocalypse Weapon X Wolverine, where he has the stub hand and he's batters crap out of him. They have the golden tan, the brown and tan. No, is it golden tan?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's brown. It's probably brown and tan.
Yeah.
Brown and gold. Yeah. Wolverine where
he's fighting the Hulk, but even though that that's actually wrong. That cost. I was like, that's not these. No, in the comics.
So he comes in there. Deadpool's like, "Oh, you're wearing a brown town costume, like that you pull the Hulk in," and then the Hulk growls behind him and goes, "Oh, you're still fine." The Hulk, and he gets to the side, right? But me and you were like, it must be like, no, because he put him in the gold and blue, the yellow and blue costume.
Yeah, when he still had the weird like whiskers on the mask.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been even more comic book accurate costume.
Yeah.
And then it's the God Loves Man Kills Wolverine on the X being crucified.
That's an awkward one. I was like, that's a bit awkward one. And
then he appears and he sees one Wolverine from behind and he goes, "Oh yeah, you look like him from behind." And then he turns around.
Yeah, and it's Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, it's Cavalry. Oh yeah, they'll treat you way better over here than that S show across the street." I was like, that's a bit mean.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So once he punched him and Deadpool went flying, I was like, "Wow, that's a strong Wolverine." Because it's going to be human strength.
Yeah, I was like, oh, but I remember everyone's in these films, everyone's strength's over exaggerated. So
yeah, especially later on in this film. Yeah, Wolverine's strength starts getting kind of mighty.
Yeah,
and I think they missed a trick here. in one of the Wolverine cameos, they should have the Grey Scott, the original Wolverine cast.
Oh yeah.
They should have had him as one of those Wolverines. That'd have been something that people would have got or might not have gotten, being like, huh? But then later on, there's even more something that was no one gets. But you're like, okay, this is obscure, just like Nicolas Cage's Superman.
Yeah. And then they also had. Oh, was it Patch? Yeah, when his patch was on it, yeah. And that was it, really, wasn't it? There wasn't any more cool ones. So so then he ends up in a bar and he finds another Wolverine and like, hey, you're Wolverine, come with me. He's like, I don't do that no more. And everyone in the bar's like, yeah, this guy's a piece of crap. Yeah, he's the worst. Like, oh, that's a bit
Even though when you find out later on, it's like, yeah, but those people not shouldn't be reacting that way.
Yeah,
but he should have been more outcast than he should have been here. It just seems more. It seems whatever he. Okay, no. Yeah, it seems tamer than
what
is said. Yeah. But then what is said also is not as serious as it should have been.
Yes. So he finds Wolverine that's just drunk and stuff. He's like, come with me. He's like, no, I'm not going anywhere with you. Come with me. Because I need you because my water's dying. Yeah, do something yourself. Like, ugh. Yeah. And they go to fight, and then he just passes out, doesn't he? He just passes out.
Deadpool pulls out a gun.
Yeah.
And says, look, you can either come with me or I can shoot you and make you come with me anyways, right?
Yeah.
And then Wolverine just grabs a bottle off the bar and he goes, just a second. He drinks it all, chugs it in one go, and he just flops on the floor like KO.
He puts a gun. He puts a gun to his head as well. Then he drinks it, and then he flops out, and then he drags him to the TV out.
Yeah. Well, actually, he grabs his collar, and then he sees the costume and goes, yes.
Yeah.
And then next when you see Wolverine in the Wolverine costume, getting dragged into the TVA, and he throws Logan on the floor.
Yeah.
And he said, "Look, now we got an anchor point, right? You don't need to murder my universe, right?"
And he's like,
and Mr. Paradox says, "No, you know what?
He's like,
I just want to."
He goes, but before it goes, right, it doesn't work that way. You can't just take one, put it here, and two, you pick the worst Wolverine of them all, and three, I just want to, and then that's when
because these universes, when they anchor point die, sometimes they take hundreds of thousands of years to die. Might as well just get rid of them. They're going to die anyways, right? Just save yourself the job of waiting 10,000 plus years.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's a weird way of putting it, but all right, sure. And that's when he kind of talks about
like efficiency, by the way. He said that like that.
Yeah.
You know?
But, and this is where he tells him about the eraser bomb thing that wipes out.
Yeah, the Time Ripper.
Yeah. And then I think this is when Deadpool's like, wait, you're not part of the TVA. You're some like splinter group thing. And then he's like, and then they try to.
Yeah. I think Wolverine gets up, tries to do something, right?
Yeah, then he hits him with the stun gun.
He gets what's it called? Pruned, right?
Pruned, yeah.
And then Deadpool obviously jumps in there to do something else, right? To punch Matthew McFadden again, probably.
Yeah.
And then he gets pruned as well.
Yeah.
And they get dropped into
the void.
A wasteland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where the trailers. This is the only trailer I watched where they start having a fight.
Yeah. They see the 20th Century Fox logo behind them, dead in the sand as well.
Yeah, that technically got pruned, didn't it? Yeah. So
and then Deadpool's like Wolverine, like where have you taken me? This is all your fault and stuff. Like Deadpool's like, no, I need you to help me, otherwise my universe will die. And he's like, I don't care. You're trash.
Yeah, and then this is where Deadpool kind of tricks him by saying, "Well, if you help me, we can fix your timeline." And this is when Logan's like, "Oh,
same universe, yeah."
Yeah, so okay, so he kind of is on board. Yeah.
Wait, they fight here, right?
Yeah.
They fight here first.
Yeah.
And then that happens, yeah.
I think during a fight, that's where he's like, "Yeah." After the fight, when they realize that they can't, it's gonna go on forever. He's like, yeah, if you help me, we can possibly save your universe. He's like, oh, okay.
With a knife, 2 swords and a dagger sticking through him.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this fight was quite bloody. And then, So this is after they've like, hey, we'll help each other. They are walking through the wasteland, and then they
no, they don't even walk through the wasteland because he's still got a sword stuck through him, and I think that's when
and that's when the
they get surrounded by the Mad Max crew of Sabretooth, Toad from X-Men 1,
Toad from X-Men 1, Pyro. Yeah. Probably some other no-name people. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention, but I couldn't.
No, this is where they find. This is where they find a variant first.
Yeah,
they will.
No, that's not till they. Then they come and they're all around them. Then that's when the variant comes down. He's like, oh, it's him, and he jumps down and he starts talking. He's like, oh, wait for it.
His cloak thing, and it's Chris Evans, bearded Chris Evans, right?
Yeah. And he's like, wait.
And Deadpool's like, oh my god, yes, he's gonna say his battle cry, Avengers, and you hear flame on. And I was like, okay, firstly, but it's because his hair wasn't blonde as well. I was like, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, same. I thought maybe it could be a variant of Johnny Storm when he has brown hair. I was like,
but Steve Rogers definitely had brown hair, so
yeah.
I mean blonde hair, so
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Then that happened. Yeah, he flamed on. I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that was great. And then he tries to do a supernova, and Pyro's like, I eat flames, right? And then he falls down. And then wait. So yeah, Pyro does the flames thing.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Storm falls down. I thought he died here.
Yeah. So he fell down on one of the solar panels on his crotch, which I know there are a lot of crotch hitting jokes here, but I don't think this one needed it. He didn't need to. But yeah, then he fell on something else a bit further down, spun down, hit something else, and then scorpioned. And I was like, I think he's dead.
Yeah.
He didn't even go ow or boy that hurt or anything like that. Any indication of it,
No, so I was like, okay, maybe he is dead. And then Pyro's like, yeah, you guys either come with us or we make you come with us, whatever. And Wolverine's like, F you guys, I want to get back to my universe. And then they see Sabretooth, and then Deadpool's like, it's a fight everyone's been waiting for. You versus Sabretooth, that's your brother. Which is a good callback, because in this universe, even though I still think real life they should be brothers. Anyway, and then, so they all gear up. Wolverine gets down, like, all sort of bit, throwing out his claws. And
Deadpool pulls his swords out of Wolverine and goes,
you got to look better for this, everyone's been waiting for this.
You got to ground the pounder, you got to take his legs, trying to give him a, what's it called?
Like a cool
backseat fighting tips.
Yeah. And then they run towards each other, and you're like, ching! And then Sabretooth stops slowly, and then his head falls off, so Wolverine cuts his head. And then
Deadpool picks it up and cuts a promo like he's from Mad Max.
Yeah, which I thought I was hilarious. It's like,
yeah.
And then I was kind of not disappointed by this. I was like, okay, yeah. It's not Leaf Shy with Sabretooth, so it's fine, I guess. Yeah.
It happened the way it happened. That's fine.
It's fine.
You had a fight just previous with two guys with healing factors, so you didn't really need this one.
Yeah, another like 20-minute fight. Yeah. So then,
and the payoff was better, by the way. The payoff was better with him grabbing the head and going, this is like.
And then this is what I've forgotten. So how did they get unconscious to get put into the? Oh no, that's it. And then they pull down, and then Pyro's like to Toad, it's your turn. So Toad's like, done his tongue to pull down this device that had a magnet, and then the magnet, because the magnet's so powerful, it pulled Wolverine to it, but Deadpool's standing in front of him, so he got squashed into the magnet. So that's how they got caught. And then they both wake up and they're tied together in a spear, getting driven to somewhere. And Johnny Storm's there, basically saying, this is the void. This is where everyone goes when their universe sort of gets pruned. Reed told me about this, and then he kind of explains to him. He says the name Cassandra Nova, and I was like, who's that? And I was probably one of the people like, oh, even though I knew she was in the film because I got spoiled to me. Like, oh, and so then they get taken to her sanctum, I'll say.
By the way, would have made no. Actually, I'll go into it later. I'll go into it later.
Yeah. So they get to her sanctum, and her base is in the suit of Ant-Man, well, Giant Man, sorry, from when one variant of him must have died, and they just lived in his body. And then this is where they get pulled in, and you see lots of people from old X-Men films, like Callisto's one of them, isn't it? Callisto.
Yeah, but was it the same actress?
I don't know. I was trying to think about that. I ain't seen.
But then again, to be fair as well, it was also 18 years later, so it might have been the same actress.
Might have been, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it hung on long enough for me to think to actually see if it's the same lady or not.
Yeah.
Though they definitely did have a different Juggernaut from X-Men 3.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And I think they even make a point of that and say it as well.
Yeah. And did you see? This is the guy I was talking about earlier. Did you see the red and white striped T-shirt guy?
No.
The Russian.
Oh,
you know, Punisher.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't Nash. It wasn't Kevin Nash. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I saw the T-shirt and I was like, "Is he meant to be the Russian?"
Oh, that's dope. Okay, I didn't even notice that. I was look for that next time.
Next time, but then if it was definitely Kevin Nash, we would have been like, "Oh yeah, that's him."
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was. It was just. Yeah, it could have been it could have been Tugboat.
yeah, it could have been it. Yeah, so you saw the Russian, then Callisto, Lady Deathstrike. Obviously, wasn't played by Kelly Hu.
No. Azazel though, played by Jason Fleming.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that's
same
cool.
guy. Yeah.
Who else? There was a few I didn't really know. I was like, huh, okay, that's like there was a guy who people try to say was speculating was Blade. I think it might be Sticky Blade from a TV show. You know.
I gotta watch out for him. I gotta watch out for him. It contradicts something that says.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And then there's other like random probably bad guys from in X-Men 3 which had no names anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there was a Psylocke, but not one of the two other Psylocks.
Yeah. Forgot that he's like 3 people play her. And then so then this is where they get introduced to the main villain kind of the film, Cassandra Nova.
In her wheelchair that she's in there, she stands up and then goes down the stairs. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing they thought, because then Deadpool and Wolverine are like, Xavier. He's like, no, but I'm her. Then she explains the backstory. Yeah, I'm his twin sister who I got absorbed in. He killed me in the womb. Well, they don't say that part. They kind of say that. He says she used his telepathic powers to sense my evil in the womb, so he strangled me with the umbilical cord. Yeah, that's the comics. The comics for you. Which to this, even reading that now, even reading it then back in 2000, because I didn't read Grant Morrison's X-Men when it first came out. I read it after sort of it happened. So once he's run done, I read it. I was like,
but the thing is though, if she actually said that in this movie, I'd buy it because this movie's wacky anyway.
Yeah.
More outlandish the better. But that's the thing. It sounds like something outlandish just for the movie, except it's not.
No, it's not. It's legit from the comics. Yeah. So then she explains that she got prude because she was too powerful, so they kind of put her in a void. But we learn more about that later. And this is where she wants.
Wolverine tried to. So gone.
Oh no, it's where. Oh, what did she? She said something, and this Wolverine's like, "I don't want to hit on your stuff. I just want to get back to my universe and sort it out." Blah, blah, blah. And then that's when she does her weird teleport thing behind, and then in his head, in Deadpool's head, and it's like, "Oh yeah, you're a weirdo, basically." And then she does turn it to Wolverine to do it later. And then this is when Deadpool says, "Oh well, Johnny Storm said this about you." And Johnny's like, "Wait, what? No, I didn't say that."
About you, and then he's just coming out with stuff like a whole bunch of nonsense that Deadpool would say.
Yeah, and then,
swear words just attached to each other.
Yeah. And then she's like, "That's what you say." He's like, "No, I don't even know what half those words mean." I thought it was funny.
And then Wolverine's like to him, Wade. Yeah. And then no. Shush, Logan, and he continues, right?
And you're like, oh, dude,
Johnny also said this, that, and the other, right?
Yeah. And then she's like, okay, Johnny, I believe you. And then she just snatches his skin off, and he just collapses into like a pool of like bone and blood. And then Logan's like, Wade, you piece of, you got this guy killed. Like, no, he said this. And then then
you forgot the payoff joke where he goes, and look what he was doing to the budget.
Yeah, that's one. It's like, it's true. Chris Evans is expensive. And then, so after that, that's when she kind of explains more about the Void. And she's like, well, you guys need to outrun. Oh, what's the thing called again?
Oh, it starts with an A, but I forgot it was.
I want to say.
Go on.
I want to say
Ator.
It's not Elias. It's something like that. This is very.
I was going to say Storis, but I'm thinking of Dark Souls probably.
Oh, either way, it's gas monster. That eats people, and basically, if this thing eats you, you're dead. You can't. You're basically permanently erased from everything. Yeah. So then they start fighting all the minions and goons and all that stuff. Oh, I thought they said, Juggernaut says something to Wade, and it's like, yeah, you look different from the one I know. Yeah. Which is 2 jokes from the Juggernaut in his film, and then Vinnie Jones Juggernaut in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and then Wolverine, he fights his way to a
sentinel leg.
Yeah.
And then
they both jet off
into far away, and then this is where they have another little talk again. Like, come on, man, I need you.
Yeah.
Just to help me save my universe. These are the only people that I have,
Yeah, and then Wolverine's like, well, you heard him. I'm the worst Wolverine, I can't save nobody. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I just want to get back to my world. And he goes, yeah, but your world will die as well if you don't. We can fix your world. Otherwise, my world dies and your world probably die as well. We need to get back to the TVA.
Yeah. So he's like, okay.
And then you get the dog that was voted the world's ugliest dog.
Yeah, this is where I missed, because this is where I had to leave the cinema. Like, I had to leave the screen for a minute. Yeah.
All right.
Because I just
The 2023 or 24's world's ugliest dog.
Yeah.
Come running towards him. Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
Deadpool picks it up. And he's all like being all, cutesy, dog father and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And then another Deadpool comes along. Ryan Reynolds Deadpool with his man bun and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And his armor looking a bit funny. Okay. Yeah. Like it's more chest piece armor than the Deadpool costume armor.
Yeah.
And he goes, he's really camp.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, sorry, boys. I mean, sometimes you can't control the dogs like that, but and he's like overly nice.
Yeah.
But in his, they point it out, right? In his lower end of in his trunks.
Yeah.
It's a very big banana shape.
Okay.
It's like, but Wolverine and Deadpool do not point out. Like, they just no-sell it for some reason. They just look down, and Deadpool's like, oh, they're magnums. Yeah. And it's called plays magnums.
So that explains something later, because with the gold, I didn't understand the gold button. Okay, that makes sense now. Yeah.
And then they're asking, like, he says, Nice Paul, that's what they're calling him, is basically saying, oh, you know what, I'm glad you're one of the good Deadpools, because, boy, I've run into a whole bunch of other Deadpools, and they wanted to murder me. So if you ever get to see a whole bunch of them together, get out of God,
Yeah, okay. And is this when Deadpool mentions X-23?
No, I don't think so.
Is that later on when he mentions her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Because I know they get the car and then they're driving somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, that's a bit late on. That's a bit late on. Yeah.
Okay.
And she doesn't get mentioned. She doesn't get a mention until a bit late on.
Oh, because I know they mention her and then.
Oh, they only mention her because that's Logan saved her, like the Logan that died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know
even though her appearance is spoiled in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't have done, by the way.
Yeah, which I didn't see.
I don't think they mentioned her till later because she was meant to be a surprise.
Because I know because I think he mentions, I don't know, I'm guessing this. He mentions the Logan from his timeline. He goes, yeah, he saved this girl, and then
just something small that gets mentioned that kind of that could easily
not be
brush
even
off.
if she wasn't. Yeah. Okay. And then so yeah, they get in the car and they're driving somewhere. Where are they driving?
Yeah. So no. Just before that, yeah. They talk to Nice Paul, and he's like, I can. They just need a car to get to another location to get back to the TVA, and that's when he gives them a car.
Yeah.
And that's the same car that that Deadpool was cussing when he was the car salesman.
Yeah.
And he wanted to take Dogpool with him, except when he turns around, the cornfield's blocking his way. Yeah, and Wolverine then grabs the dog and gives it back to Nice Paul, and then they drive off in the car. And then Wolverine and Deadpool kind of have a talk in the car, but not. Like Deadpool saying to him, "Look, right. So this is what we got to do. This is what we have to do to save my world, right?
Yeah.
And if that is done, we might be able to save your world." And Wolverine just switches on him. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, the other bit. He goes, no, the other bit. He goes, oh. And then, and that's when he's like, you lied to me.
He's like, if? Yeah. And then he goes, nah, so you're telling me all this time you're shouting rubbish. Because there's no certainty whatsoever about what you're saying. Yeah. So I'm not even going to be able to do the things that you're asking me to do. That's saying that I can do to save my world.
Yeah. And he goes, no, I didn't lie to you. I just made was it an educated wish? Yeah. And that just sends Wolverine off, and they just he's
saying like all those 9 people you want to save me, saving that photo you just showed me, and how much you care for them. Yeah, you can't do nothing, right? He's projecting proper hard, right?
Yeah,
so you can't do nothing. They hate you. They don't even like you. Your universe deserves to get destroyed and everything like that, right? Because you are useless. You're pathetic.
Yeah,
you're nothing.
Breaks down his
you're
life.
My hero. Yeah. He's like telling him the stuff that this Wolverine feels about himself.
Yeah. Projecting
the Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and you got nothing to say now, huh? You're signing, got nothing to say. Mouth of mouth.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, bam, huh? Is that what you got? And then Deadpool says, you know what, Wolverine? And he just points at him and goes, I'm gonna fight you now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, with this guy, when he stops talking and when he's saying it with like, it's that quiet, calm anger.
Yeah.
And Wolverine laughs at him because he's like, yeah, whatever, right? And then he'll punch him straight in the face. And would it be comedic if he had a tink metal sound because he punched him in the skull? Yeah. But it was a serious moment, so it probably would have been out of place.
Yeah. And then they have like this epic car fight, which in such a compact space, it is so much.
Yeah. And then You're the One I Want plays on the radio as well when they hit it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. And then Deadpool's getting the bad end of the stick, but he realizes when he gets kicked out of his car, it's because his swords are too long to use in there.
Yeah.
So he throws them down, and he takes the small dagger out, and then he's like, yeah, okay, and he comes back for more. This was like you said, this was epic. This was silly, and this was over the top, and all you've seen is shanking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's kind of discreet, but not because they can heal themselves.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to night that he like. Wolverine has Deadpool pinned down, and all you hear is shanking. Yeah. The camera goes down, blood's dropping down, and then it's nighttime, and then Deadpool's all tied up in the car seat, and Wolverine's like, I want to say semi-conscious, but he's gone as well. Yeah, he's out of it.
Yeah, he's hiding. Yeah.
And then you see footsteps, and their car get driven elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Who's this mysterious person?" Yeah. Then they wake up in some sort of hut / compound sort of thing.
Yeah. Which gave me like, there's none of those films that like had a bunker anyway. Yeah. So it was like a weird bunker. Yeah.
And Wolverine's already drinking himself into a stupor because
he's like, I like this place. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Deadpool's like, who took us here? What's going on? And then you see our boy Blade, Wesley Snipes walking out slow-mo.
No, what's her name comes first, doesn't she?
What, Laura?
No, Electra.
Electra? Yeah. Oh, it's Electra first. All right,
yeah. And they're like, who are you? It's like, I'm... Well, she said, she's Electra, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, Jennifer Garner, that's nice to see you.
Yeah.
And then Wesley Snipes walks out and like, And then they have that little joke bit where he goes, basically the whole Blade Trinity
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes hating Ryan Reynolds and stuff like that. And they make a joke about it. Like,
yeah, it's like, so Deadpool's all talking, and then Blade says, I don't like you. And then Deadpool says, you never did.
Yeah, and I was like, I see what you did there.
Which I'm going to assume Hannibal King is a Deadpool variant.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it makes sense. Or he's just breaking full wall. But yeah,
he is, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That Deadpool's never met this Blade, so
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
But he's probably met a Deadpool in this void.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or in his universe.
But I'm saying Hannibal King is the Deadpool variant.
Yeah,
that's the way I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And then Channing Tatum's Gambit comes out, and I was like,
this is the best thing ever. I love this so much. Because the costume budget, but great at the same time. That's what I was like, it's so weird.
If you've seen the mock-up art of him in that costume, it is exactly that. So yeah, I was like, and it's decently comics accurate as well.
Yeah, so I was like,
and then he starts speaking in Cajun French, which is super thick.
Cajun French,
yeah. And Deadpool's like, "Who's your dialect coach?" Because I can't understand. Like,
I understand every third word you say. Yeah.
Even though you can understand it, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
You know.
But
then they play up even more, and it gets thicker and thicker. So it's just like every time he speaks, it's more and more harder to understand.
Yeah. And then this is where like, so there's a team of you lot. So who's left? And he goes, you got Magneto? No, he's dead. Oh, have you got this? And he's like, nope, that's dead.
The Punisher? No. The Punisher. The Daredevil? No.
Yeah, and then that's the Daredevil one was funny. He goes, Daredevil's dead, and then that she went good. I was like, I get it because in real life, Ben Affleck and her were married. Now they're not. So yeah, I get it. She's happy that funny. And then
I was actually expecting Ben Affleck to make an appearance. Or Ben Affleck's stuntman, even, just like, I mean, they could have had Daredevil, and then when he took off the mask as Ben Affleck and then put the mask back on, it could have been, the whoever's going to do the
I think Ben Affleck just doesn't want anything to do with any comic book things anymore after the whole.
It'd have been fun to be him, to Henry Cavill in this film and Ben Affleck in this film.
Yeah, he'd be like
straight from there.
It'd be kind of like a dig at DC, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then while this all going, then you hear footsteps again, and then this is where Laura Cheney's, aka X-23 comes out, and Deadpool's like, this is what I was telling you about. This is the one that my Logan died for, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care. And then she's like, oh, okay. The Logan I knew was a great man, but he goes, well, I'm not that Logan. I'm the wrong person. Blah, blah.
Yeah. And then he all of a sudden you make him sound like he's Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that man.
And then this is where Deadpool tries to do, like, get him as a team to go in, like, go to Cassandra's lair and find a way back to the TVA. And then this is when Gambit goes on some weird long dive drive. That's so weird.
Yeah. And then they're like, does anyone understand what he's just said?
But what I did like about this as well, because they all kind of explain where they came from, innit? And then he's like, I was born in the void. Like, oh, I get it, because his film got written but never filmed, was it? So it didn't technically exist. So he never technically exists. It's like, that's okay. That's a smart.
But they're also talking about you mentioned the Magnetos as well.
Yeah,
some Magnetos and Xaviers, and like, well, they're really powerful. How
Yeah,
these guys, they're not as powerful as some of the other people that. No, but then it makes the logic of why they didn't attempt anything. Yeah, and the Punisher's a nutcase, so of course he would go in.
Yeah. And then
I'm hoping that Dolph Lundgren Punisher was one of them Punishers, by the way, because they said 2 Punishers. Went there 2 or 3? Was it 5? I don't know.
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah. With the and then so they're like, so tomorrow we're gonna go and do this. So they all kind of go off, and then Logan just disappears into the night as he does, and he's sitting by.
You're all gonna die.
Yeah.
This I ain't gonna join you on your suicide mission and whatnot.
Yeah, and then so he's out in the far, just sitting at campfire, just swallowing like in depression. And this when X-23 comes, and she's like, you could really help us. The Logan I knew was a great man. She goes, I'm not your Logan.
Yeah.
And he goes, you got the wrong guy. He goes, that's what he was always the wrong guy, but in the right place. Then
this he gone.
This is where this is where you find out what happened to his ex. In his universe. And oh wow, this is quite depressing.
Yeah, so he tells the story of basically, one time he left the X-Men, and then the humans came in there and just murdered them all. And then what he did was he murdered all the humans back.
Plus more. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's pretty bad. But I thought they were going to go the route of the proper Old Man Logan route, where he got brainwashed, mind washed, or whatever, right? And he killed the X-Men.
Yeah, but they because they kind of show the Old Man. I forgot that was one of the cameos as well, like quote unquote Old Man Logan, even though it wasn't. Yeah.
If he went that route, and then he killed Mysterio, and then he killed other villains, and to get to this point, I'd have been like, all right, that makes more sense. But the X-Men died while he wasn't there. That doesn't make him the worst Wolverine.
No, but his reason why does kind of make in his eyes why.
I get that. But when the TVA says the worst Wolverine, I'm like,
but no.
no. Him himself saying it, if him himself says, "Oh, I am the worst Wolverine," that's different, right? Because he thinks he did something bad.
Maybe that's why they go along with it. Right. Yeah. Because said he felt that as family, but he didn't want them to know that he felt that way, so that's why he'll make fun of wearing a costume and stuff like that. But he went on one of his drunken benders, and then and then he was just depressed.
And then they're like, and then he's there, and they're like, tomorrow at dawn, yes, and, you know,
and they think he doesn't, because how the conversation with him and Laura ends, he never says he's coming or not, innit? So it's like So then they drive there in that beaten up car. And this is where they're like, how are we going to get into the fortress? And then he goes, oh, I got this from Punisher. And then, they said there's 84 bazooka, whatever it is. And they went, which Punisher's that? There's been like 5 of them. Like, and then like, there's only one fucking blade. And like, woo!
I mean, like you said, sticky fingers. So that still doesn't work. You know what I mean?
And then I just like how then Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool looks at the camera, kind of winks, because this whole new blade thing. Who knows what's going on with that?
Yeah.
I like how you kind of like address that slightly. Like, okay. When is that coming?
Yeah.
Who knows? What is it?
So they blow up the fingers of the giant man's finger gate thingamajig.
Yeah.
Get in there. Car swerves around. You get them.
1 second. Got to go back a tiny bit. I forgot to say that there's another bit before this will happen.
Yeah.
When you see Pyro speaking to Mr. Paradox, and basically he's like been he's been a double agent where he's kind of like trying to keep eye on Cassandra Nova and telling the TVA what's going on so he can get out of his I forgot about that bit.
And we also forgot to mention their plan is to take the Juggernaut's helmet off to put on Cassandra Nova because that will stop the her mental abilities. Because they were like, we could get Magneto helmet, but then they're like, no, there's no Magneto here because they've been murdered.
Because we had a helmet, then she crushed it and then killed him with it, and then liquefied. Like, okay, cool.
So they destroy the fingers, they swerve the car in, they all jump out. You get like a Deadpool, Blade, Elektra, Chang Ting's Gambit, Laura. But not in a costume. I thought she was gonna. No, she puts the sunglasses on.
Yeah, I was like, that's a good.
The flower sunglasses, right? But I thought, you know what? I think it would have been cool to have it in costume, even though they didn't have a costume like in the Logan movie. But it'd have been nice to have her in the which costume? You want to say the grey and black costume?
Probably, because
just something, you know, because everyone else is costumed,
even Blade,
and then they're like, then Cassandra Nova's like, you bunch of jabronis, right? What do you think you can do? And then Wolverine somehow, he's where the spare wheel of your car would be. He kind of pops out the back, and they're like, and then they start just like
murdering.
Yeah, exactly. And then somehow, so Deadpool and Wolverine run off to face down Cassandra Nova, while the rest of them somehow are fighting a whole bunch of other people. Like, all right, but there's not enough of you.
No, but this is movie logic where 4 people can take down an army of 8. I mean, an army of like 80 people because let's just stand back and watch one person get murdered, then we try and get rather than just flooding the people.
Yeah. And to be fair, with Gambit's range and explosive abilities, like. And Blade's got vampire abilities, right?
Yeah.
Elektra's the only human there.
Literally. But still, she did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they all fighting the minions. A lot of them get murdered.
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine get Cassandra Nova, and they have a little talk. And this is where they go. She goes into Wolverine's head, and then she sees flashbacks, and this is where like you see him being depressed and saying like, basically that he wants to die. Basically, that's what he's kind of saying, and he's like, oh well, you know, what was she actually? She was. Well, I keep thinking that she was saying like, yeah, together we could. Oh yeah, like yeah, no, you stay here, the void. Together we could kind of rule this place, and you know.
Yeah.
Anything you want, and he's like, okay, and she does that. Basically, he does that to distract her, because then.
Yeah, because I don't need the only thing I need is to distract you.
Yeah. So one is going on. X-23's killed Juggernaut.
Yeah, slices the ankles, right? Yeah. Taking his helmet, and then. She's trying to throw it to Deadpool.
Yeah, she's trying.
Except that she gets wrapped around by one of the Psylocks.
Yeah, and then so she throws this bag. You don't know what's in the bag. Obviously, it's Juggernaut's helmet.
Yeah.
So the Deadpool puts it on her, and they're like, okay, you need to.
How do we get back to the TVA?
Yeah, TVA, and she's like, well. If I take this off, I can kill you. Well, I can only do it if I can only help you if I don't have the helmet on. And then Wolverine's like, well, if you take the helmet off, you're gonna kill us all. It's like, well,
yeah. Hence the villain. There's the villain logic. What are you gonna do? What can you do now?
So then Logan's like, wait, take it off. It's like, no, we're all dead. It's like, no, take it off. And then when he's about to, Pyro comes and shoots her like 8 times in the chest, so she's bleeding.
Yeah.
And Logan's like, no, what have you done? And then he comes to do a monologue, and they just punch him like, you've said too much. Like, yeah. And then this is when, again, where Wolverine takes off the helmet, because Deadpool's like, well, she's dead. What we're gonna do? He's like, no, if you take it off, she can heal herself because she's Omega level, isn't it? So then they take it off, and then she's like, why don't you kill me? Because Charles. The man the Charles I loved, he would never turn his back on someone like you, and like I got to lead by his example. So she's like, oh, you saved me. Okay, cool. I guess I can help you guys. So one of these viruses popped around here, and like it's a very charming guy with a cape, and I killed him, but he happened to leave
a magician.
A magician, and he happened to leave this, and then it's like one of the strange sling ring things. And he's like,
I'm gonna say, by the way, the Doctor Strange variant that got killed is the 1970s Doctor Strange from the unedited pilot.
Tied
it all together, right?
So then they do the circle thing. But then while that's happening, Alioth, that's what it's called, Alioth. Yeah, she's like, you know what? I opened the portal for you, but you guys only got like 30 seconds because that guy is coming to wipe us all out. So you know. So you're like, oh no,
I win anyways, right?
So then like, oh no, then they do a superhero slow motion run towards the portal. And then they jump in it, and then they end up in Canada, New York, I don't know, because this is what I was sitting there like when they end up where I was like, I don't really know where this is because they got the subway, but it's not New York because it's not New York. So anyway, so they land on.
Well, no, they crash into a car, car from the car park. And then the kids go, well, it's Wolverine. And then Deadpool's like, they're gonna make him do this till he's 9 years old, even though he in the movie has already said he's over 200 years old.
I've been here for 200 years. So then, and then why they jump through that, you see a life go through the place, but you don't know. Or while that's happening, though, you see all the guys like Blade, Gambit, Elektra, and that look up and kind of smile like, we helped do something. So it's left ambiguous, whatever happens there. And then, so they end up there. And then they're trying to get to the... So they, like you said, they land in a car. Oh, so they are in Canada. Wait. I'm not sure.
Well, they are wherever they are, right?
Yeah, wherever they are. Yeah.
And they've got to get to the TVA because they know that because Pyro told them he's going to try and destroy the use the time ripper to turn, like, you know, where they are.
Yeah.
They use the time ripper to go and wipe out all the universes.
Yeah.
Well, not universes, but Deadpool's one, right?
Yeah.
And so they get there, and then they get stopped by the World's Ugliest Dog runs over to him once again, right? Yeah. And then Nice Paul comes over and says, yeah, we got a bit of a trouble here because there's a whole bunch of Deadpools coming after us.
Yeah.
And then Lady Deadpool walks through the portal.
Yeah.
Followed by like Cowboy Deadpool, Welsh Deadpool, Wrexham FC Deadpool, right?
Yeah. He's actually played with one of the players. He's actually one of the players in the actual team.
Yeah. A whole bunch of other Deadpool variants as well. Also, Matthew McConaughey, by the way, was a Cowboy Deadpool.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and there was a whole bunch of other Deadpools that were wearing Deadpool costumes, but you didn't. They're like, how can you tell between those Deadpool and this Deadpool? Yeah,
but I did notice they had Deadpool 2099 in there.
They should have had Ultimate Deadpool, and you know what they really should have had? They just for the jokes, they should have had Scott Adkins back as Wolverine Origins.
Oh
Deadpool.
yeah, they should have had that one, but Wade killed it. Oh,
yeah, but they wouldn't have given him the face mask and all that stuff. Just have him as Scott Adkins with the thing with drawn on him, and that'd be there.
Then they had also like is it Headpool, the one that?
Yeah. Nathan Fillion as Headpool.
Yeah, and then
and I was waiting for the bit where Lady Deadpool, like she's talking to them, right?
Yeah.
And I thought she was gonna put on her mask and it's gonna be Blake Lively.
That's what I thought. No, even though it was her, but like we could have just.
Yeah. I mean, her voice, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
they start
shooting, and then they got Wolverine, Deadpool, and Nice Paul are hiding behind the car.
No. Deadpool grabs Nice Paul, holds him while he gets shot, right?
That's. Oh yeah, because that's when he gets the other bit. Yeah, so he holds it.
Yeah. So he grabs him, holds him there, so he gets shot. Yeah, like a good couple of times. They use him as a human shield.
Yeah.
Grabs him, pulls him behind the car, right? And he goes, "All right, boys, like we're a team, right?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to regenerate?" To Nice Paul. Nice Paul's like,
"What's that?
What do you mean regenerate?"
Yeah, he's like, "Oh."
And the woman's like, "You haven't killed this guy." And as much as it was jokes with Nice Paul being overly nice, right? Yeah. And you're like, "Oh yeah, maybe I want to punch this guy in the face." When he died, like when he's like, "What do you mean regeneration?"
Yeah, you're like, "Oh."
Yeah. And then like I was watching with some people, and they pointed out to me afterwards.
Yeah.
Nice Paul still has Ryan Reynolds' face.
Yeah.
So you should have known from not the opposite, but it was like he didn't get mutated by the whatever they did with in Deadpool 1. Yeah. Because it's got no cancer.
Yeah.
So that's why he doesn't have the healing factor.
Yeah. So you should have given that. Yeah.
Yeah. You should have. I was like, oh yeah, because he's dying, right? And Deadpool's like, you can still hear some music, grabs him, and he pulls him across.
Yeah.
And he gets shot some more. And he goes, say it to me, you're gonna live, man. You ain't gonna die, you're gonna live. Because I'm gonna live. Yeah, his head explodes. And then Deadpool's still holding her body, he's like, F! And he grabs him and they jump to the other side. Yeah. And then Wolverine runs across there and he's like, what now? What's your big plan? He goes, my big plan is these. And he pulls out
the golden magnum.
Yeah, the metal, the gold-plated magnums. And he's like, yeah, F and let's go.
Yeah, and then Wolverine's like, yeah, we're going to do this like men. And then they walk around the corner and see the famous shot where it has the shops all been, where the shops been shot and stuff like that. And one says Liefeld's feet. And he's like, oh yeah. The joke at Liefeld because he can't draw his feet.
Yeah, and then Wolverine's like, he pops his claws and he puts on his mask, even though the mask has been attached to the back of the suit all the time, even though you've seen the back of the suit and he doesn't have a mask attached.
Well, it could be in the inside, or it could be like that.
Yeah, but that's the way you reach. Logically, I was like, why didn't he just pull the mask from his belt? Like, because it could have been in his tights and his belt and then he put it on, but whatever, right?
Yeah, this is comics. It makes no sense anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
it makes more sense than rather, like if he had like the Black Panther and Iron Man tech or the Spider-Man where he just presses it and he goes,
the nanotech,
yeah, I mean, right.
Yeah. Why? So it's a whole bunch of like 100 Deadpools versus Wolverine and Deadpool, and they have an epic fight to Like a Prayer from Madonna. Yeah.
It was the best.
And then they're murdering him. My friend next to me was like, how come those Deadpools don't heal? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe they don't. They set it up that that Knifeball doesn't have healing factors. So then these Deadpools...
He thinks his own Deadpool that has the healing... Yeah.
So then they murder a whole bunch of Deadpools all the way down the street. Blind Nana's there. She says, "I wish I was deaf," because of all the murdering and screaming and shouting that's been going on.
Yeah.
They murder their way into a school bus.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when they jump out of the school bus, and that's where
jump out. Wolverine lands like cool, and then Deadpool.
But that's what I was thinking, by the way. Wolverine's arms, I think, are CG there because they don't look right. They lose a lot of detail. So look out for it next time.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Deadpool flops the landing.
Yeah.
He goes, "Damn it!" That'd have been so cool.
Yeah.
And then they see baby Deadpool, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
Yeah,
it's just gonna be like the baby Hitler thing.
Yeah.
But he's the baby Deadpool's laughing, and then all the other Deadpools start resurrecting themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh no," because they do have healing factors.
Yeah. Then they get jumped by the Deadpools. And then out of nowhere, a hero comes along with the carry on. Bob comes back. Bob comes in.
No, not Bob from Hydra. No, it's Peter.
Peter, sorry. I keep thinking they're the same person. They're not. Peter comes, and then he's like, "I am the one true Deadpool," and they're like, and then Deadpool's like, "No, go away! No, they're gonna kill you." And they'll go, "Peter!" And they're like, every Deadpool has Peter, and they're like, start cheering like Peter, and that distracts them.
I was actually, you know what? That's kind of cool because it gives them like an unexpected way of doing other things. It's just like when Captain America walked in the elevator and he said, "Hail Hydra."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's unfair expectations because they already had to fight the Deadpools. They're gonna fight again. You know, how are they gonna get out of that situation? Yeah. Some might say it's cheap, but I'm like, you know what? No, it makes sense in the context of things.
Makes sense. Yeah. So that gives them a chance to slip away to go down to in the subway to go to the secret TVA place.
Yeah.
And this is where they find Mr. Paradox. Actually, we forgot to say as well, while this was going on, the new boss of the TVA in Loki, I can't remember what her name was. What was her name again?
I can't remember.
Number one. I'm gonna say her name's One because she gets alerted to what's going on. So
and then the other thing is Cassandra Nova.
Yes.
Uses her mind fingers. Into Pyro to find out what's going on there because she goes, "You have your spies and I have my spies," or something like that, right?
Yeah. So then she kills Pyro, breaks his neck.
Yeah.
And then she goes down and is like, "Oh, this Earth Eraser thing. I like this. I'm gonna go and use it to destroy all the universes. So then only the Void will be a thing." And they're like, "Oh no, is she gonna do that?" So she went.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, yeah. I think we mixed up them because she appears first and then the Deadpools come after. Yeah. So she goes down there to use the Time Ripper to go and start destroying universes.
Yeah.
Mr. Paradox being all like, "Oh no, we can work together," but you know, she's like, "No, we don't need to. I don't need you.
Yeah, we went back on it, so I don't need you anymore." Yeah. And then she goes down there and starts absorbing it, and the world the surrounding area starts like changing and all that. So then Deadpool and Wolverine come down and like, "So we need to stop this." It's like, well,
and Mr. Paradox being the great spineless wimp that he is. "Oh, thank goodness you're here! Thank goodness!
Thank goodness, it's my plan all along, yay!"
We can save all the universes. Yes.
Yeah, so
that's right.
He kind of tells them like, "Well, it can be stopped, but one of you gonna have to kill yourself because you have to absorb all the powers or trip the circuits, and then she won't be able to absorb it anymore. But if you do it, you'll die." And like, "No, we're fine. We can regenerate." And it's like, "No, this is antimatter. That's something you can't play with. That'll eviscerate you." It's like, okay, cool. So Wolverine's like, "All right, I'll be the one to do it." So they run down to the bunker and everything, and then Wolverine's like, "I'm gonna do it, Wade, because you got your friends and family, and I have nothing. So this is on me to redeem myself." And then Wade's like,
at this point, I was thinking, why don't he argue about the anchor point thing? Because if they still need Wolverine alive, otherwise the universe will get destroyed anyways, right? So they could have they could have been both arguing their cases, except that Wade's like,
but maybe not, because on Wolverine's Earth, he may not be the anchor point, because in his Earth is an Avengers. Remember when there's a bit where Deadpool goes, he's trying out for the Avengers, and then Wolverine's like, F the Avengers. So maybe his universe, all the heroes are there, so he's not the anchor point of that one.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. It's true. No, but he needs to be the anchor point of this universe. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But
anyways, yeah. So Wade kind of gives up about it. Like, yeah. My people need me. Yeah. My friends need me. Yeah. So Wolverine's like, he nods.
And tell your friends I said hi. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets a fire extinguisher to the face.
Yeah. And then Wade runs in.
Yeah. And then he's like, then he says about the anchor point and stuff like that, right? Yeah. My universe will be destroyed if you're not around then anyways. And then he starts going bye, and then he turns around and he starts doing the fire hands
all
thing.
These stupid things like long enough to buy. Like,
and he goes, I'm only doing this to stall him because I really don't want to die.
Yeah, I don't really want to die. So yeah.
Okay. And then he says the actual final goodbye.
Yeah. So then
he goes grab the wires and all that stuff while the percentage of the universe existence starts going further and further down while Cassandra Nova's got her hands in the Time Ripper.
Yeah.
And then he's grabbing the wire to try and reach the other he's grabbed the blue one, he's trying to reach the yellow one, right?
Which might be and then why he's doing this, Logan's like, let me in, Wade, so he starts like trying to knock down the door and stuff like that. Yeah.
Which I'm like, he must be super strong because those are thick metal, and I don't think the previous Wolverine displayed this much strength before, because how do you bend like metal doors with him? If he's punching him with his claws, by the way, fair enough, right? Because apparently Adamantium can just punch you for everything.
I don't think he's punching. Right? I think he's shoulder tackling it. And remember,
but that's what I'm saying. If he stabbed the wall,
that's what I thought he'd just done. That made more sense, but that's not as
dramatic.
So he's like shoulder tackling, he's dents, and then
so from the perspective, it looks like Wade's just like fingertips away from it, from reaching the other one, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to like 3%, 2%, and he's not going to make it. And Mr. Paradox and the TVA are like, he's
not going to
make it. And then Wolverine grabs his hand.
Yeah.
And then he claws the other antimatter thing. Well, I'm like, wait a minute. If the camera was telling me your fingertips away, how do you get from one person's arm width away?
It's from Deadpool's perspective. He thinks he's that close, but he's not.
yeah. And then they got matter and antimatter running through them. Yeah. Well, the top half of Wolverine's costume can't handle the heat, right? Yeah. And it explodes.
Yeah.
Just to show off his abs,
and
Deadpool's like, oh yeah. But then I'm like, hold on, they shouldn't part of your costume explode as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but like, nah. You got
whatever, right? Whatever.
It is what it is, yeah.
I mean, Hugh Jackman worked out for it, so why not? Yeah, you're gonna do that.
Yeah. And then, so while they're doing that the percentages going back up, and then Cassandra Nova starts losing her powers, and she gets Cassandra Nova exploded.
Okay.
Yeah. So she exploded. I think I don't actually know. And then Wolverine. And then that's when the good TVA with Commander 1 comes and is like, what are you doing, Mr. Paradox? Like, oh, yeah, I found this Cassandra Nova girl, and she decided that she's gonna try and destroy the universes, but I came and stopped her. And the Deadpool Wolverine comes, with these guys, and they're like,
he goes, and they shall rise from the, beyond or something like that.
Yeah, because they're dead, but they nobody sacrificed his life, and then they came and it's like, oh, you survived. We're both. One of us wouldn't survive, but there's two of us, both healing factors. It'll work. And then you see one woman like staring at Hugh Jackman's like godly physique, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Wolverine's like, stop horn dogging, right?
Yeah.
give him a top or something. Give him one of them TVA jackets.
Yeah. So then they kind of say what Mr. Paradox was doing, and then he gets arrested, and the TVA woman's like, so thanks, Wade, for saving the multiverse. Is there anything we could do for you? And then he's like, not destroy my universe. Like, yeah, we could do that.
Oh, no, you missed it. You missed the section where... So, Mr. Paradox is saying about them, and then Peter comes down?
Oh, yeah, Peter comes down.
In his Deadpool costume?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, wow, man, you're working. He's like, oh, well, thank you.
He goes, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then, so she's like, if there's anything you need Wade, and goes, no, just don't prune my universe. And then Wolverine's like, if you could fix my universe, he goes, well, yeah, but if your universe is fixed, you want to come through the experiences you need to get through to become this man to help save his universe.
Yeah.
So realistically speaking, aren't you better for it?
Because if she fixes his universe, that involves time travel. So so then what they just did today wouldn't make sense.
And then she turns around to Peter and says, I'll see you.
Yeah. And then this is where Deadpool goes, oh yeah, before you go, we had some friends left in the void. Is there anything you could do for them? He says, yeah, I see what I can do. It's like, oh, they get a good send off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after this, you see Deadpool and Wolverine sit on a bench eating shawarma, and then Deadpool's like, the Avengers created shawarma, right? And he's like, Logan's like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah. And he's like, so what are you gonna do now, Logan's like, I don't know. Oh. And then Dogpool comes. Oh, there you go. Look at you, so cute. And Wolverine gets up, goes, I'll see you around, Wade. And I think he's gonna go back to. Wade thinks he's gonna go back to his universe, and he's like, well, you can kind of stay here. Yeah. So then we flash forward a tiny bit, and then you see Wade with all his friends and family celebrating his birthday again, I guess, because it's still the same day technically for them, isn't it? Yeah.
And you see Laura there.
Oh no,
you don't see the other guys.
No, before that, they go into his flat because remember it's just outside their flat. And then he goes into with see Blind Owl, and then he's like, basically we got a new roommate, sort of thinking it. And then that's when he says again, he's been doing this till he's 90 years old. Yeah. And then
and then he's so it goes to like the family shot of Laura, Logan, Wade with Dogpool, and then he's with Vanessa's there, and then everyone's all like kind of having dinner, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then Logan's like, give me the dog, Wade. You go and and do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Take your shot.
Yeah.
And then he looks at Vanessa. She looks at him. He's like, hi. I don't want to say, did you come here often? But I don't think that's what he said.
There's something along them like stupid lines.
And so they kind of like it's sort of a rekindle, but you don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an ending that works because it gives you it's like an inconclusive, but hopeful ending.
Yeah.
And then the credits roll, and you see behind the scenes footage explaining some things of the Fox universe. So you got why Chris Evans was Human Torch because they're playing clips of that.
Yeah.
And then some clips of X-Men stuff and
it was basically everything that was made by Fox. And a bit of New Line because of Blade.
But I don't think they had Blade footage.
They said like there's like one or two small short scenes of Blade. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then so basically it's like a that little montage at the end with that bit during the credits is like a goodbye and thank you Fox universe sort of thing because realistically without the Fox films none of this would be a thing. So watching I was like, oh, you know what, I respect this because even showed like Fan 4 or Fantastic. Showed bits of that and everything. I was like, you know what. And again, because I was a fan of the Fox universe. I know it had its detractors, and some of the films were quite crap. But I like seeing it just made me kind of like, I was like, oh, it's gone now, really. This literally was like the wrap up for it. It's gone. Oh.
And then we get to the end credits, where Deadpool's like, look, man, you guys, I know you people in the audience are saying that I got Johnny Storm killed, but let me show you this footage, right?
Yeah.
So then it plays back a bit where Deadpool and Logan are tied up together, and Johnny Storm's talking about Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, and he goes, Johnny, what do you really think about her? And he goes, well, and he just said everything that Deadpool said plus more. And,
and then he goes, you can quote me on that. And then Deadpool's like, see?
I was like, that was
that
was good. And then that was it. So Chris Evans, good for him. He got his payday, but he also got to play completely different stuff. Like Johnny Storm, as Johnny Storm would be,
but like his version of Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
But he got to be a bit more comedically over the top with it.
Yeah.
In certain respects, he's playing the character as the character would be in this universe. Yeah. But he's also doing the language.
Yeah.
Of someone who's like that character frustrated in this situation because I'm personally thinking, would you preferred it if it wasn't Cassandra Nova but the Maker instead?
Nah.
No, because it wouldn't have been personal to Johnny Storm. It would have made a bit more sense.
Nah, because then, but Maker's got really nothing to do with the X-Men when you think about it.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so it's like
it's true, but we're talking about multiversal, universal destruction and whatnot. So, and he's trying to rule the void.
Yeah, but then that's still it. I feel like that's more complicated to kind of explain.
Okay, it's true.
Especially like,
yeah. If you do you think it's a shame that none of the Fantastic cast was in this?
Yeah, even if it's like a small cameo, it could have been.
Yeah.
Right. Like even if they just got even if you just put CGI thing in there, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Then I'm like, hey, ain't you Killmonger? Like, who's that? Like, haha, see what you did there. Yeah. And there was another thing we kind of missed at the beginning when Mr. Paradox is showing Deadpool the universe, yeah, and then you see him dying and Thor's like, no Deadpool, and he's like, wait, why is Thor crying? And he goes, oh, that's happened. Something important happens later on. It's like, wait, no, I need to know now. So like, oh, so is that gonna happen in one of the later films, or just a joke they're gonna have?
Yeah. Which then we'll get into the thing that happened over the weekend at the Comic-Con where Doctor Doom. So no longer are we having Kang Dynasty, we're having Doomsday.
Yeah. Right.
And Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom. I'm like, all right, I get how you can have a variant of of an Iron Man that actually has the Doctor Doom armor.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna infamous Iron Man, or there'd be some other routes. But yes, okay. So he has green and silver armor, whatever, right? Yeah. Okay. Is he playing Von Doom or is he playing Tony Stark as Doctor Doom?
I think he's playing Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. That's me personally, but we're gonna know for like another 2 years. But yeah.
Well, to be fair as well, I think it makes a certain logic that if Pedro Pascal, who is about 50, is being Mr. Fantastic, and Robert Downey Jr. is 60, but you could just fudge the ages a little bit.
Yeah.
Then they could be that Doctor Doom and that Mr. Fantastic that are rivals, but
because at the moment, Fantastic Four is set in a different universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or in the past, at least, anyway. So
yeah, but we don't know where Doctor Doom would have come from. Because my personal logic, by the way, and my personal logic is they could have got Denzel Washington to be an older version of Kang and he started wiping out the younger versions.
Yeah.
And I say that because I'm not just saying, it's just that he's got a gravitas to take the role as a leader beyond leaders,
Yeah.
But people would go on, Sam.
No, I was going to carry on what you're saying.
I was saying, but people were joking that Kang should have come back, and it's not Jonathan Majors, right?
Oh, it's it's a Tropic Thunder sort of thing, isn't it? Where he's playing a man playing a man.
No, okay. No. Oh, I thought you were going to go where... No. Kang takes off the mask. It's Terrence Howard.
Oh, God, no.
It was Rhodey, original Rhodey. Okay.
If that happens, I'll walk out. I'm like, no, I can't, no.
No, I'd be like, wow, they're reaching far back.
Yeah. Because, apparently Kang is not off the board.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. Is if they had an older version of Kang, you still could have. Yeah, you still could have got exactly what you needed to get. I don't know about this. I don't know about Doctor Doom. But they already set the Kang story in motion. So unless they're literally going to say Doctor Doom wipes out all the Kangs,
which is a bit of a sellout.
Yeah. I don't mind Secret Wars happening, and it's like Secret Wars / Battle World, right?
Yeah.
But then, are you saying that Doctor Doom got the power from the Beyonder? Are you going to go that way?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they just course correcting too quickly, too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have just recast the role of Kang.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. It's not like.
And in fact, you don't even need to recast him with one person. You could have just get multiple different actors.
Variants.
Yeah, playing different Kangs.
Yeah.
And people would be like, all right, yeah.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you've kind of established that this is a thing, so who cares?
Yeah, the Council of Kangs.
Yeah.
And then there's multiples of the same guy, different versions of the same guys with different actors as well. So because that's what happened. Yeah.
Do you think as well? Like, I don't know. This could be like a red herring. Because like remember before Captain America Civil War was called Captain America Civil War, they threw one up by calling it Captain America and the Serpent Society.
The Serpent Society.
Yeah. So do you think this could be a thing as well? Then it's like.
Well, I think that was different though, because that was more like if negotiations for Robert Downey Jr. fall through, then we've got a backup. You know, because he was getting a bit expensive, and imagine how much he's going to cost now.
Yeah.
And I think for some reason they'll probably just get some dude to wear the Doom costume for more extensive shots and stuff, and he's only in it for like 10 minutes when he doesn't have to wear the mask. He gets his paid his 10 million for 10 minutes anyway.
Kind of like the Ultron thing, innit, where like Kevin Spacey was just the voice, not Kevin Spacey, sorry.
No.
What was his name?
James Spader.
James Spader, yeah, not Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna be Doom. I don't think he's gonna be Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, I think they're missing a trick if they use that, but then they're missing a trick by just replacing him. And wasn't Iron Lad Kang at one point?
Yeah. So
they could have went that way instead, where this is an older Iron Lad that became a Kang.
Yeah. We'll see.
And yes, you're right. They should have just Tropic funded him.
Yeah. I'm a man playing a man. Well,
yeah, because that would have been worked. Because then the comic people would be like, oh yeah, the logic. He was Iron Lad. That was. Oh yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens. Because I think he's just a variant. I just think it's gonna be a variant of Doom, but not Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
And
then do you think Victor? But then you're gonna have the Secret Wars right the next year afterwards as well, right?
I think so. Because once 20,
so they're going to be kind of back to back ish. So it wouldn't be like they get rid of Robert Downey Jr. Doom and then actual Victor Von Doom picks up the helmet.
They both could be in it. Variants.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, look, he's probably going to have hopefully he has a group with him, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets probably be backstabbed and usurped, and then actual Von Doom is there, you know.
Victor Von Doom,
yeah. Wherever they get to play, I don't know. We'll have to see how they're going to work that out because, I personally, I mean, we'll have to see how it goes, right? But I think they just like, all right, how do we get the biggest reaction?
Yeah.
Well, we do this instead.
We'll see.
We get eyes on our product, and I'm like, yeah, but maybe you just got some big name to play Doom.
Also, like, I just feel like I've seen a lot of discourse about when people are like, oh, this is Doom, but I was like, wait 2 years, like, wait till next year when it actually comes out before like crapping on it, because you don't know what's actually a thing.
I think the decision was based on audience, you know. Perception, like, oh yeah, now we get people talking, rather than progressing. Like, if the two Avengers movies went back to back, that'd be something. Maybe like, okay, they're gonna do this, and then they're gonna be boom, and then they're gonna build to the other one. But no, it's just like boom, boom.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is just like what they announced this year is setting up for something they're gonna announce next year.
If they did Secret Wars, like Avengers Secret Wars, and then Avengers Battle World afterwards, I'd be like, all right, so that goes into that, or you know, all the other way around, whatever. But then one goes into the other, and you're like, all right, that kind of makes sense. And then you don't reveal the villain. They need to.
Yeah, but again, I don't know. I think Marvel's doing the opposite now. They're like trying to put everything in front, and then it's gonna be a complete different film when it comes to it. That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you know, people keep saying everything's so predictable now. They're like, you know what? Let's make people think predictable. Then we're gonna do something else to make it not.
Yeah.
But,
the Vince Russo swerve.
Yeah, basically. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right, but this film in itself, is really good.
Pretty good.
Highly. It does deal with multiverse. Like, it's more multiverse than Doctor Strange, and that was the madness of the multiverse movie. So
and they did make fun of the multiverse bit, because there was one bit when it's like, this is getting played out, and then Nice Paul's like, no, I think it's very great. Everything's been stellar since Endgame. I was like, haha, that's how I feel. I've enjoyed everything since, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they poke fun at themselves. They poke fun at the new company that bought them, right? Poke fun at the old company that has them.
Yeah.
No one is safe.
No. So
it's all funny and in jest, though.
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
the thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's one thing if you're just mocking everything and you don't make fun of yourself. And I know we will just look. We are going to make ourselves look like idiots as well. So that's all right.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. I mean, like you said, you're going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again anyways. So I'm going to look out for Sticky Fingers as Blade, but I don't think
it's actually him, but I think it's a very,
Yeah. It was like, well, they had the Lady Deathstrike in the back, but that wasn't Kelly who died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, her character died, so
yeah.
No wonder why you would get another actor to shoot the variant. Whatever.
Yeah.
But they should have got. I know they probably couldn't get Olivia Munn back because she would have been more expensive, but they could have got the other Psylocke from X-Men 3 back.
Yeah, it could not be bad. She probably not doing anything. So yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, they could have paid her enough to stand in the back or whatever, right?
For a day. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. I don't know why they couldn't. They probably couldn't get Kevin Nash to be the Russian because Kevin Nash's knees, but that's different, right?
Quads, yeah. But overall, I've already enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the cheeky cameos and stuff like that.
Oh, we missed out as well when Blades is fighting everyone at the end. He's like some MF still trying to ice skate. I feel like
he said it. He said the thing. Yeah. Only for like a cool line or something. Yeah. And
I'm glad they of all the lines. I'm glad they brought that one back because I was like, yes, that signature.
That's the best. Oh. But yes, I guess if you're watching this, everyone, or listen to this, go watch Deadpool Wolverine, or if you already have, let us know what you thought of it.
Yeah. Watch it again, even right?
Watch it again. Give this film all the monies.
Yeah.
But
it could be the last Deadpool film.
Because at the end, normally at the end of every other Marvel film, like so and so will return. They didn't have that. So yeah.
We'll see. Maybe they'll make appearance in Secret War.
Yeah, I reckon he will.
No, Secret War Doomsday, right?
It depends if Doomsday is dealing with multiversal stuff.
Yeah.
Secret War.
Well, to be fair, it's got Tony Stark variant in it already, so
So we have to yeah. But we'll see. So I guess that's
So that's a wrap from us.
Fox. Yeah, bye Fox. You did us well for 24 years, literally.
Yeah. You did what you could until you couldn't.
Yeah.
What was the New Mutants? Where were the New Mutants in it?
Yeah, it's real. They didn't show any little clips, did they?
No. That's like a redheaded stepchild, you know.
Even though I like the New Mutants, I thought it was a good film.
Yeah, they did. I would say they should have shown clip. Well, did Marvel buy Fox by that point, and they put out the? No, they didn't.
I think it was ready to be finished, but by the time it was about to come out in cinema, I think Fox had bought it by then. Yeah, I think that's why it was delayed so much to come out. Yeah,
I think they still should have played some clips from New Mutants, anyways, just for
because because even Dark Phoenix, when that came out, technically when they filmed everything, that was still Fox, but when it came out in cinema, Disney had bought Fox by then, so they were like promoting it. So
no, was it? I thought Dark Phoenix already. The last film promoted by Fox.
Yeah, halfway through
as the deal was going through.
Yeah, because then when it came out, because I remember like Kevin Feige and what stuff was at the premiere and stuff like that. Because at that time, I was like,
but he used to work on the X-Men films, anyways.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, bless him.
Yeah. Interested to see what comes next.
Yeah, very interested.
After they wrap this into the universe.
Yeah, because how it ended. Is Deadpool part of the main universe now? Because it's not really. Well,
that's the thing, right? I think that's because the reason they delayed the other films till next year.
Yeah.
So they're trying to work out what they're doing. So they don't want to lead anything into anything else. They just like leave it by itself, which it kind of is.
Yeah. Because how it ends is like it's not really established if he is part of it or not.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So guess that was it. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah,
just to us speaking about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, or Deadpool 3 that was once called. Let us know what you thought of it if you've seen it. And you can do that by leaving a comment in the comment section on the YouTubes. If you listen to this on the audio platform, you can send us a tweet or an Instagram message or comment on the post, and you can find all that lovely jubbly stuff at the top there. It says with the logos and little insignias. Also, if you are watching YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got a boost in stuff pretty recently, so hey, happy with that. Also, keep watching the Blades. Me playing Blade is hilarious at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a good game. And
well, I was gonna say keep watching the Blade to the TV series, but I don't.
Well, you can watch that probably in an afternoon because there's not that many episodes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to have a look back at that at some point.
I think we should.
Okay, all right. Well, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen like the first.
Oh my goodness!
In the last episodes.
Yeah. So they cut. I think they've cut 2 episodes together.
Yeah.
And then sold in the box set as Blade, as though it was Blade 4. What?
Wow, that's cheeky. I don't appreciate that. That's not cool. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, forget to give us a review on the Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. You can do all that. And yes, thank you once again. It means a lot to us that you listen to this. And until next time, guys, I have been that guy who's still ice skating uphill, Carl Charles.
I'm the skeletal head with a helicopter propeller attached to my cap. See why, Chum?
And like Gambit once said, I remember shooting out my daddy's. I'm not gonna say the rest. I thought you
were gonna do this. I thought you were gonna, as Gambit once said, whatever, like some made up French.
Like, oh,
like we're so thick that people don't understand it, so you can just chat.
I can't wait to watch it again with the subtitles. Like when it comes out, I'm gonna watch the subtitles. See, it just says untangible words. Like, okay, cool.
Actually, let me just go on a little side tangent here. But did you ever watch Firefly?
Yeah.
So they were supposed to be speaking Mandarin in that. I say supposedly because the subtitles underneath it said intergalactic. They were speaking English, but intergalactic language as well when they were speaking Mandarin, right? And I'm like, yeah, they are speaking it so nonsensical that it does sound like there's no tonal inflection, and that's why. Yeah, even the subtitler, like in the TV series, I think they put the subtitles Chinese, and but in the movie they just put intergalactic language, I think, or something like that.
Oh.
I'm like, wow, okay.
Cop out, yeah.
Or maybe it was the other way around, but it was like, yeah, at one point they just was like intergalactic language. I was like, wow, okay.
Intergalactic.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, until next time, guys. We won't see you in the void because that's a dangerous place. We'll see you in the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
That was the wrong outro, but it doesn't matter. Bye.